Hello friends, we are in the presence of two great masters here. Uh, I don't know if you can feel the powerful aura emanating from them. Uh, I myself am a spiritual person, yet I am stunned by the energy exuding from them. Look at the glow on their faces, and both are overflowing with knowledge, love, and concern for the well being of the human race. We are in the august presence of two great writers here who will handhold us through the paths and teachings to empower our minds. I welcome Dr. Narayan and Miss Richa. Please give them a big hand. Dr. Narayan, sir, um, you are one of the most respected and the most decorated individuals in your field. You are perhaps one of the very few of our countrymen who have been honored by University of Hawaii in the US. You have been a prolific writer also. With your book Shamitri, you have taken a leap from scholar to storyteller. So I would like to ask you, what brought about this transition?
Namaskar. This is a book called Shamitri. It's in the form of a fiction. The theme is that Shamitri is a symbol, a holy tree. It goes back to Ramayana, Mahabharata era, also Rajasthan. It's a symbol of endurance, hardship, hardiness. So that is a tree because the story is around the environment and nature. And Shamitri has been to signify that, the tree, the whole life of the tree is dedicated for others. It protects, it nurtures birds, insects, animals, soil, human beings, the whole life, and it is very hardy tree. The idea was that I was trying to compare the relationship and the comparison between the human beings and the Shamitri. It is if you look to the life style of a Shamitri which I have narrated, probably can't we become also like Shamitri to be useful to the society? And the theme of the book is to say that I come from a rural background, and as many of us, we have the modern society where we think that modernity means education, modernity means affluence, modernity means wealth. But I thought this in our observation that modernity does not mean that our traditional culture, values, spirituality, dharma. Many times we confuse between dharma and religion, but dharma means some righteous duties, which is similar to both the topics you were talking about, Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. So, unless you teach your children, the younger generation, about the moral values, our cultural values, ancient memories, happiness becomes very difficult. You can earn anything if you don't have the root, anchor. So, the Shamitri tells about something, that you can progress, but cutting the base of your dharma, getting the base of your culture is not going to be very healthy trend. That's the whole message, that's precisely. So that's what I thought, and it also talks about one thing. We are talking about sustainable development. I am an agriculture man. Sustainable development, worldwide sustainability. Sustainable means you need to satisfy everybody on the earth. If you don't have control on greed, how can you become sustainable? You can destroy, you can anything you want, you are not happy. So in the international development world, we don't talk of spirituality and only talk of development, production. And if you don't have that spiritual mind to conserve it, use it judiciously, control your, desire, it cannot happen. So I thought it is necessary for us to be happy. It's necessary for us, our nature to be surviving, and that's the moral story about it. Thank you.
Sir, very impressive background behind this book. Thank you very much for that. Over to you, Richa. Your very first book, The Teachings of Bhagavad Gita, has attracted a lot of attention, and it has won you many accolades. So I extend my hearty congratulations, and also my first question to you. Can you tell all of us here at what point of time in the Mahabharat did the Bhagavad Gita feature or occur?
Thank you, Dr. Gauri, for your kind words. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So, before the battle of Mahabharata began, the Gita was recited on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So, what happened was, now the two armies of the Kauravas and the Pandavas were on the battlefield. At that time, Arjuna requested Lord Krishna that please take me in the middle of the battlefield, in the middle of the two armies, because I want to see who has come to fight with me, because I am fighting for dharma, but the Kauravas are fighting for adharma. So I want to see who are these bad people who have come, and I'm going to destroy them. So when Krishna took him to the middle of the battlefield, what did he see? He saw his own cousins, he saw his uncles, his friends, his relatives, and he was taken aback. He said, these are the people I have to kill. These are people I love. I have grown up with them. How can I do this? And he was taken aback. He was filled with sorrow, with despair. And then he puts down his bow and he says, I will not fight in this war. And that's how the message of the Gita starts.
Very revealing answer, Richa, because many of us were not very much well informed about this particular fact about Bhagavad Gita featuring in the time of Mahabharata. Sir, my next question to you is, we all know about the significance of Shami tree. Now we are talking about Mahabharata. So we know the significance of Shami tree from the times of Mahabharata. I would like to know the significance of your Shami tree and its role in bringing about a sea change in our materialistic and, shall we say, environmentally destructive behavior.
As I said, Shami tree is only a symbol. It's a very unimpressive plant. It's a thorny plant. It doesn't have very attractive flowers they have, but it has its service. But people have to understand that simply by physical appearance you can't judge the whole quality of the person, and you need to really sacrifice. Like I said, you need to really put in, and the more important thing is how we need to really preach. The problem with our generation is that when we get seniors, our all fame, our positions, we forget. We only look to our front. What we look to our front is our children. Okay, so generally our heads, we will be very happy if our children are good, not necessarily money. They should be very polite. They should be respectful. They should do some social service. They should earn some name. That's the aspiration of the parents. Then then we feel if they don't come to our expectation, we become very frustrated. That Kai amcha mulga, our child is not behaving. But we forget to realize that who are responsible? It is we are responsible. Children copy what the parents have done in the young age. So the book trying to really try to say that if you want your happiness at the Yeah, old age, yeah, or senior age. Whatever we have done in our 30s, 40s, 50s, we are all forgotten. In the 60s, we don't remember all the good things, we only start looking for the present and the pains. That's the way. That time, the whole solace is our future generation, our children, if they are happy, if our grandchildren are very polite, very cultured, then we are responsible, if you have not dealt with my time, and my child would learn what the father or mother has done, you would exactly follow. So the idea of the book is to tell that you have to be like a Shamitri, you need to be sacrificing. But many times we think that I have been telling sacrifice. Sacrifice is not for others' sake, it is for our own sake. For example, as a doctor you say, don't eat too many food, don't eat too much sweets. It's a sacrifice somebody. Somebody says, doctor says, get up in the morning at 5 o'clock and go for a walk. Somebody may say sacrifice, but it's not for anybody's bad thing. It is for our own good. It's very difficult for this generation to understand that what we do in case of Dharma. Also, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says so many things. It's not, many people think, oh, he is sacrificing. It's not sacrificing. It is the investment in the future happiness. That's what probably trying to say through the book.
Thank you, sir. That's a real eye-opener. I think it says no pain, no gain. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, Richa. As the author of Trunk Call to Krishna, I am being asked this question practically every day. So I am going to pose exactly the same question to you. That Bhagavad Gita is thousands of years old. So how do teachings of Bhagavad Gita apply to modern life?
For that, you will have to read my book.
Of course.
But I will tell you in brief. See, the teachings were first imparted 5,000 years ago. So it's a very good question. What happened 5,000 years ago? That was a different time. And it's not relevant today. But just think about it. At that time also there was stress, there was anxiety, there was despair, there was greed, there was anger, there was lust. So the problems which people were facing then, we are facing the same problems now. And one would think that we would have evolved in these 5,000 years. No. We've stayed the same. So our capacity to handle these problems has not improved at all. So those teachings were relevant then, and I think they are highly relevant now, especially because our society has become so materialistic. Like Sir said, we just want to consume. But what about the future? We don't think about the future, we don't think about the planet, we don't lead sustainable lives. So I think we need to change our lifestyle, our mindset, and I think for that the teachings are very relevant.
Yes, sir, please.
I will also add a small thing to this. The whole, I see in the Bhagavad Gita, the entire essence of life, wherein the Bhagavad Gita says that our self-realization is the ultimate goal. Self-realization is the time you are able to see God in your heart. You close your eye, you see God. Self-realization is the time when you don't feel like craving for anybody. You are very contented. So that is the time when you are free from anger, free from greedy, free from jealousy, and that is the stage called you reach a stage called Sthita Prajna. My teacher said, I asked a question, whether can you identify at least one Sthita Prajna? Then he started scratching his head. But he said one thing, it's not necessary that you need to see any Sthita Prajna. If you have seen people moving towards that direction, that's the beginning of your happiness, number one. Secondly, the route, where do you start with? The start of the whole self-realization is selfless service. The day we slowly start looking to Paramartha from Swartha. Take one more minute to say. For example, what is the simple way? Like young parents have a kid, they want to celebrate the birthday of the child. Instead of you taking 5-star hotel, take also your classmates, maybe your servant mates' children to a small restaurant, give them a treat. They will remember for rest of the life. If you are taking your only son, tomorrow you will demand for one more hotel. That's the way. This simple beginning. And another thing, Dr. Gauri, in our mind, I think the thought you are talking about, this theme I was thinking. In our mind, I understand, every day, every person gets 52,000 thoughts. Every day. And these thoughts, 99% are related to me, how I can fulfill all my desires through our 5, sense organs. So, it is, you can't control that 52,000 to 10,000 because it's like balloon. You need to have 52,000, but what you can do is replace the thought from this desire-ridden mind to selfless mind. For example, if you have taken a child for a party, next time out of the 52,000, few thousand thoughts are related to that child, how he was happy, how his mother was happy. Then that thought will have, it will reduce all the bad thoughts and good thoughts will come. That's the beginning. Once you like it, maybe next time. This is a simple way I tell that, people many times, Bhagavad Gita, people run away from it. But at least this way, you can start somewhere, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga, I was laughing when my mother was, making bhajan, all rituals. But in Bhagavad Gita, what they say is, devotion is very important. There are a lot of social service people do, selfless service. If you don't have bhakti or devotion, the divine power, we become so arrogant that, hey, sagade maza mule dala, me. In that process, you create more sin. So probably that is what very nicely designed the paths. But the essence, I thought, the day you start thinking little selfless service, that's the beginning of the path for self, Paramartha. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Narayan and Richa. Amazing insights that you have given on this particular question, and I feel whatever you said, what I understand as a reader is that you must change the turning point into transformation point. That is when you can go towards meditation. So over to Richa, you were talking about, and we were talking about stress, anxiety and everything. As you have said that problems have not changed, they are same. So we all know very well that anxiety disorders and stress are the two biggest killers of modern world. Can you please explain us how teachings of Bhagavad Gita will help hold these killers at bay?
Okay. One of the paths which the Bhagavad Gita talks about is Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga says, Karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So Lord Krishna says, when you do work, you do it for the sake of doing. Don't do it for the reward which you will get. What is the modern way of working? When we go to office, we are going just to get the promotion. We are worried about the big salary, or somebody is worried about fame. And we are always, caught up in that tension. Some people are very competitive. They want to put their colleagues down. There is office politics. So all this creates a lot of stress in the organization. So what the book says is that don't work in this way. You're working in the wrong way. If you've been given, like, supposedly, when we go, as a writer or as a painter or as an office goer, when you approach your work, do it to the best of your abilities. Don't worry about whether it will be good or bad or whether you will get a big reward for it. don't think about all that. That is the wrong way of working. The right way of working is focus on the work alone, do your best, and leave the rest.
Okay, that's really excellent an answer for this question, Richa. Over to you, sir. Again, what is the kind of vision that you wish to achieve with your Shami tree?
Yeah, I believe that if you want to be very happy, if your neighbor is happy, if your people are happy, you are happy, the whole world is happy. If you want to be happy, you really need to orient your younger generation. For orienting younger generation, you need to practice rather than preach. So we really need to practice ourselves how to be modest, how to be good in the sense. For example, regarding the stress also, many times we get stressed because we are encountered with a challenge, we are encountered with a problem, and without analyzing, we start assuming the worst scenario. My boss, Dr. Manivaidasa, is a Gandhian. He used to tell one thing: don't allow the problem to sit on your head. You sit on the problem. What's the meaning of this? If you assume this problem is coming, I can't handle it, you will never be able to handle it. If you crush the problem, means you analyze, go to the grassroots of the problem, and what will happen? Suppose somebody says in the office, a boss is not very good, he's threatening to quit the job. So you really, instead of getting scared of the boss, you need to really think, okay, if the boss threatens, what do I do? Don't I have another job? Can't start do anything? So moment you start thinking, you get for every question, for every problem you have an answer. Moment you start doing it, like a doctor, you come to a patient comes to you, then person is so scared before coming to the doctor that what will happen? Moment the doctor sees, examines, and he doesn't even, or she doesn't even have to say anything. Once you say, the patient is half better, he gets all the energy because he knows that my problem is being handled by the doctor very efficiently. That is the problem solving approach. So if you go minutely, if you go to anything, problem has a solution. I always used to say, Mughal साम्राज्य कोसळले, Maratha साम्राज्य गेले. आपण सगळं काय, these are all small things. Things happen and you need to face it. Moment to think, you have answer. If you don't think, you are in a crowd, you don't even see anything. It's like, so you need to really clear up, your path, you get the answer. That's the way I would, suggest the handle,
Amazing, sir. Just a bit more here, because with your vision, I would like to ask you because what I get from the conversation, you are talking about responsible parenting. So the audience which you look, who are going to read this book, would be parents or even youth also?
Yeah, both. I think, as I said, the book will be very useful to young parents. Because the parents must know, like all the parents say homework kar, competition la ja. Should they not say that meditate kara, thoda yoga kara, bhajan kara sakale, sandhyakale? Hey, emphasis is very important to give emphasis. If you do that, if you orient the younger generation by doing ourselves, we are happy and the children are happy. Many times you see the children are panicky not because they are visualizing the problem. The parents are becoming serious, they are panicky, that's why they are making the children panicky. So I honestly believe children have to be told. So parents really need to understand that our our customs, our culture is not outdated. They are very, very precious. We need to really give importance. Don't hesitate, See, in all the religions, whoever big they are, people follow this. In Hindu religion, most of the time, we want to be modern. In the name of modernity, our ritual values are taken away. Children, where do they get the culture from? When you say, for example, manners, stable manners, or behavior with each other, unless the parents teach the children, they will not be able to learn. And we become very sorry when they are not able to perform as per our expectation. So my feeling is that we should not really hesitate. Bhajan is a song, but the bhavana, the feelings behind, they are very important. We need to really understand. Then I think this will be a good society. Moment you get into these kind of things, you don't feel like picking up quarrel. Moment you are in a city, in the road, somebody abuses you. Would you like to go and retort back? Would you like to fight with him? So that kind of orientation comes only through these kind of values, which parents really have to do. And today you see in the office, people how impatient they are. The moment they realize that this is very important, is wrong. Winning by argument is not the victory. Winning, sometimes losing in argument is your victory. That needs to be learned from our ancient spiritual scripts. Thank you.
So you mean to say winners come last, sir? All right. Over to you, Richa. And I can relate to what you said now, because I myself am a Varkari who has done Padayatras by His grace for 7 times. Over to you, Richa. Here, before this question, I would like to relate an incident to you, because it has bearing over my next question to you. Since I am an ENT surgeon as well as a yoga guide, one of a very senior gynecologist referred her patient, a young mother in her 30s, to me. This mother developed pregnancy-related hypertension in the 7th month of her pregnancy. You see, pregnancy-related hypertension is a very, very precarious condition, because lives of the mother and the baby are in danger throughout. This mother came to me, she learned pranayam and meditation, and at the end of meditation session, on the day 1, her blood pressure came back to normal. And she was able to maintain it normal throughout, and because of that, she delivered, she had a safe and normal delivery with full term and healthy baby. It's really amazing. So I would like to ask your view as a Bhagavad Gita expert. How do you see this relation between these miracles and the teachings of Bhagavad Gita or the spirituality?
See, there are so many things which modern science has not been able to explain. And what the problem with modern science is that it considers the mind separate and the body separate. But Ayurveda doesn't believe that, because mind body is same. What we do is the medicines which we take currently, they address only the symptoms. But what is the root cause inside that nobody is treating? So that is the problem. Once we address the root cause, then the disease will go. That is something which is missing. So for example, there are people who are suffering with self-doubt or guilt or fear. There is no tablet which we can take and cure them, right? So, but then if we practice yoga, we do meditation, we do pranayam, we will be able to cure all these problems. I would like to give a personal example here. I was thinking about writing this book for almost 10 years. But I would stop myself every time because I was filled with self-doubt. But then I started reading, and the more I read, I started doing yoga regularly, and I started doing pranayam and mudras. and I started to see a change in my attitude. So I have seen this miracle after 10 years. Finally, I decided one day I will just write it. So I have seen that change in myself. It's a big shock for me. If you had told me this 5 years back, you would have written a book, I wouldn't have believed you. So I'm sitting right in front of you. It's a miracle for me.
क्या बात है रिचा, क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में, रोंगटे खड़े हो गए, गूज बम्स. Yeah, thank you so much. And on this note, I have not read your book. I'll definitely read it through. I have read some part of it, but I would like to ask you recite one of your favorite verse here.
This is from the 3rd chapter, when Arjuna wanted to know what causes man to do wrong things. So Krishna replied, Kam esha krodh esha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenamiha varinam. He said it's anger, it's lust, which drives man to do wrong things. These are generated from Rajoguna. Rajoguna is an attribute which we have. And this Rajoguna is like a hungry monster because it fuels desires, and these desires are unending. So once we fall into their trap, it's then that we start doing wrong things. So this is my favorite verse.
Thank you. That's my favorite also, Richa. It's very meaningful actually, and the context in which it comes, that Arjuna asks question and Krishna pat replies him. It's absolutely stunning. Sir, I would like our viewers to know about your next project.
I think I have been studying some of the topics and also writing in Bhavan's journal on topics like anger, stress, time management, all these things. Again, Bhagavad Gita becomes the base of any solution. I also have another book on healthy food, superfood. This is my focus has been like we have a nature care center at Urli Kanchan. I don't know whether you are aware of it. This was started by Mahatma Gandhi. We get about 10,000 patients every year. They stay there. We have facility for about 250 people, and about 40% of them either are obese or overweight people, and the rest of them we have almost about 25 to 30 different diseases. Some of the very rare diseases. In all these things, the meditation, yoga, they are the most important, healing process. Like as you said, Richa, Mahatma Gandhi in his naturopathy, it was started by him. Body, mind are part of the system. Doctors only treat the body part. What about the mind part? Because a lot of things, moment you are stressed, your system goes up, people get heart attack, people get blood pressure. So unless you handle that part simultaneously, it doesn't happen. Same is the case with stress. The stress is, a lot of obesity patients are related to stress, simply fight, disturbance in the family, or otherwise comparing with others, status, because of status symbol you overeat. There are families in some culture, unless you eat fried things in your food, it's not taken as a decent food, healthy food. So they end up in things. So here again we try to say that you need to meditate. In the process of meditation, you say that don't compare with anybody else. You are you, and I am I. So you really need to think what your mind conscious says, or preachers say, or books like Bhagavad Gita say, and you mind your business. Our entire stress problem comes moment you start comparing yourself with others. If you are locked in one way, COVID was good. We were not even able to get the news of others, so we were very happy. Moment you start comparing the neighbor, whether it is your child getting rank or whether you are, somebody else going to a five-star restaurant. If somebody, your friends have gone to five-star restaurant, they will only tell how much money they spent and what next day, what difficulty they faced in your digestive system, they don't tell. Probably you are much better off. Many times you have gone to five-star hotel, you come back home and try to eat some dahi baat, that's the way we have been bred up. So your mindset has to be trained. So I think the Bhagavad Gita tries to say, or even my books, whatever I have written, they are trying to say, you mind your own business, try to understand that what is good is for you. Don't be comparing with others. Somebody, that's the real issue. And my patients in the ashram, nature care ashram, moment they start realizing, they feel so happy. Even I tell you, we get a person who comes with 120 kilos, and somebody comes with 90 kilos. They are very disturbed that 90 kilo is very heavy weight. Moment they see 120 kilo patient and they sees that in the next 20 days they have lost 20 kilos, they get so much regeneration. You can't think of staying one day hungry. There are people who stay for 10 days only with water. That's the energy you get because of the practice, the knowledge you get and the people around you. So good surroundings, good knowledge will make your life much better. Thank you.
Sir, what an amazing work you are doing. I feel with you, for the patients, their disease has become their cure.
we can collaborate.
They come there, they get cured. So,
at least
like
in Nature Care Ashram, 97% of the people go with very satisfaction. 97. 3% because either they come with a mind that I don't have coffee, I can't live here, I can't sick, so great. So otherwise some diseases which are not curable. Otherwise even diabetes doesn't cure blood pressure. You are under regulation. The measurement is the medication we don't stop. Because that blood levels have changed, you have to reduce the medicine. That's the way we go. And the last thing in nature cure, a lot of people come with obesity, they say, क्या फर्क पड़ता है अगले बार again after 2 साल आपको परत फैट आएगा. But people will ask this question, but I asked, many of my patients say, when I lose my weight, the change is so much that I get a confidence that we don't have that obesity patients here. Once if you have obesity patients, they don't get sleep, they think the life is gone for them. Moment they lose weight, they become healthy, they think that no, I can live. What happens after 2 years? I will come back again, but I am fit to live. That confidence you get is the most important thing. So, mind, that's the topic says, correct. If you have controlled your mind, you are the winner.
Thank you, sir. Amazing experiences. Richa, I would like you to tell our viewers about your next venture.
I'm working on a book on Karma Yoga. The way it's related to your question, you had asked how are the teachings relevant. So I want to show in my book that the teachings of Karma Yoga are very relevant today, and I'm using all the elements and explaining how we can implement them on a day-to-day basis. So I hope the readers will enjoy reading this.
क्या बात है रिचा. I wish you all the best for your venture. Dear friends, do you see a bridge happening here? On each side different tools are being employed and different materials are being used, but you can see a bridge happening here. This bridge which is going to connect humankind with its own self and the consciousness. My friends, I call this phenomenal bridge the yoga bridge because it's connecting or joining the body, the mind and the soul. Here I am reminded of a verse from Jnana Vijnana Yoga. We are talking about Gita here. It's like it goes, the verse goes, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid datati siddhaye yatadanmapi siddhanam kaschid ma vetti tatvatah. Okay, the meaning of this verse is, because it's related to our topic here, that ordinary minds use intellect to gain material stability. Empowered minds use intellect to gain emotional stability. And stable minds know how to use intellect to gain enlightenment. And we are very lucky here today that we got very simple and easy tips to empower our minds and maybe to start our way towards enlightenment. And thanks to PILF, I wish best of luck to both our speakers for their future ventures. I also thank Dr. Narayan and Richa for gracing this session. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, PILF, once again. Yes, we'll be coming to that. Thanks to PILF once again. And now we come to the question answer session. So questions from audiences are welcome.
Hi, my question is to you. My name is Saurabh. So what is the role of meditation which is been told in Bhagavad Gita? So I have never heard actually the mention of meditation in Bhagavad Gita.
Have you read the book?
No, not yet. But
So chapter 6 is all about meditation. Chapter 6. Basically what the book says is that when we engage with the world, our mind gets destabilized. It's natural because we have to work hard, we have to earn a living, we have to take care of the family, we have to, we have so many goals, we want to achieve so many things. So the book says, if you want to calm your mind, it's all right if you have these goals, you must have goals, but you need to calm your mind down, right? Only with a calm mind you will be able to achieve the goals. So to calm your mind down, you must do meditation. And then he explains how you can do meditation. Go to a quiet area which is very clean and pure, sit on the floor, keep your back straight, and try to concentrate on only one point. That is how you can do meditation.
okay.
My question is to Dr. Sir, that when we heard so much about benefit of meditation in empowering minds, so people initially start meditating and then they say that I am not able to meditate or I don't see the impact. So what would be your advice people who start practicing on the meditation, and how do you know that you are meditating correctly?
Meditation is the prior stage to attain bliss. Bliss is the stage when you say, I don't need anything in life. You are in a, it's called Turiya, the heaven. Your mind is very clean, you don't need anything. So meditation is a stage where you are detached from all the materialistic, worries or possession. You are very composed. So it's very natural that, but today meditation has become a kind of commercial package where you can pay 10,000 rupees and will put music and do that, Nothing wrong, because that's a beginning, If you have not done anything, you need to you start with it quiet. But it has, meditation has to follow with, preceded by karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. You need to get little exposure to spirituality, means what is really the purpose of life, how do you achieve it. Devotion means, have faith in what you want to do. Karma yoga is the essence, as I said. That's the way where you curb your greed from selfishness to selfless center. Moment you start doing little bit of selfless work, our detachment, we start realizing that our position is not important. Doing something for others is brings more happiness than others. So this is a basic thing. Now, while making meditation, I also have that little bit in my book. It says that you need some practices, little bit. For example, generally, moment you sit to meditation, you encounter with your unsolved problem. Suddenly, either you must have picked up a quarrel with your child or spouse or some issue. So after meditation, probably before you sit again, try to find some solution. Think in a very rational direction. Can we find solution to these problems? Suppose a simple way is stress. You are stressed because either I have abused him or he has abused me. One way is to go and think, can I go and say sorry, whatever happened is happened, forget. That's a simple way. The person may not be so straightforward, maybe some other techniques, but our preparedness to, some readings say that, it's simply not going from some disco and coming in, sitting in meditation. Mind has to be gradually prepared. Meditation is not one day affair, it has to be gradual. So, try to, when you sit in meditation and you get sort of the same unsolved question, maybe after meditation, try to address these questions, whether you will be able to handle. And in most cases, you should be able to get answer to these questions. So slowly, you get rid of these things. Then also, quiet ambience, non-disturbance, sitting position, when do you meditate. These are some of the other things. That also Bhagavad Gita says, what you eat, what not to eat, and all these things, preparation. So point is, you need to really get your mind prepared. It's not like a swimming. The boy just don't go and start swimming. The preparation goes. So meditation has to be followed with some procedures. Then we really enjoy doing it. That's the way the meditation is. Did I answer properly or further? And also, we in Nature Care Ashram, we developed a CD for meditation music. Because I searched a lot of things, you need a very steady music without any disturbance, without any ups and downs. So we had a violin music with other music, and the theme was 2 songs, Gandhiji's bhajans, Vaishnava Janato Tene Te Kahiye and Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. And on that CD we prepared the meaning of Vaishnava Janato Tene Kahiye. So we told when we start listening to the music, our instructor tells that, look, when your mind goes astray, don't get bothered, because 99% cases, even the rishis will also happen that. But moment you go, listen to the tune, pick up the meaning of that, Vaishnava Janoto Tene Kaye Pida Paraye Jane Re. Then we tell them, try to think of the meaning, what Gandhiji, what that Narsi Mehta's writer. Vaishnava Janato Tene Kaye means a person is a Vaishnava, known as Vaishnava, who understands the pains of others. So the theme is, you be a Vaishnava. Try to understand the pain of the other. Moment to start thinking, or you go back to Om. But before that, we try to tell them, get back to that meaning. And, at least you are out of that, your problem, which you are thinking about, to this problem of what you have to be, that you have to be Vaishnava. So slowly you come back to the mind. And it's a matter of practice. First day, second day, it may not happen. And if it comes also, it should be gone away. But what I have understood is, if you have same problem keeps on coming, try to sort it out. I would rather say that if your neighbor is really a nasty person, and that comes in your mind, go to the neighbor and say, sorry Baba, whatever I had done is done. Remember that from then onwards you are a most happy person, because you don't have to turn your face when you say go every day outside. So this is a way of life, our philosophy says it's all interrelated. So this is one of the things to meditation, that it's not just to start the setting and end. It's not a video shooting or a setting. It has to be a mental preparation which has to go for a long time.
Hi, I have a question where you said that whenever you feel you quarrel with your neighbor or whatever happens to you, you just say sorry and then you're at peace. You say that way and you're at peace. That is what we want actually to meditate on. But when sometimes it happens so that they have bothered you, whatever they have done wrong to you, and merely saying sorry to them is not going to, I mean, that is futile. It's going to become like, I understand लाईक मराठीतनं म्हणते मी, सांगते मी की सपोज माझ्या जवळचं कोणी असेल तर त्याला मी सॉरी म्हटलं आणि मी स्वतःची मेडिटेशन म्हणजे माझी स्वतःची मेंटल पीस घेतली, फाईन. पण अशावेळी असं होतं की ते चुकले आहेत, त्यांचं चुकलं आहे आपल्याला कळतं आहे, आणि त्यांना जाऊन सॉरी म्हणून नंतर मग आपण आपली मेंटल पीस घेणं, म्हणजे मला वाटतं की ते 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 बरोबर आहे का? तसं
अगदी बरोबर आहे मॅडम. नुसतं सॉरी म्हणणं म्हणून सांगायचं नाही. एकदा आपण सॉरी म्हटल्यानंतर आपण माइंड चेंज झाला पाहिजे. आपल्या मनामध्ये काहीतरी व्यंजन असले ना, 4 दिवस तुम्ही बघा, नंतर सॉरी म्हणल्यानंतर परत असं तोंड वाकडे जाऊन जायचं, नेक्स्ट टाइम जाताना सहज जायचं. तुम्ही 4 दिवस बघा, 8 दिवस जा, लोकांचे परिवर्तन होतं. ॲटलिस्ट तुमच्या मनामध्ये तरी परिवर्तन होणार. माझं काय नाही, ॲटलिस्ट दॅट्स वॉट मे बी. तसं नाही नो, तयारी करा. इफ यू डायरेक्टली नाही झालं, तुमचे तिसरा माणूस असणार, त्यांच्यातर्फे जावा. तो म्हणजे एकदा आपल्या मनामध्ये तयारी पाहिजे, नंबर 1. एकदा तयारी केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला when you are prepared, there are ways how you can approach.
I think just one addition here, books of, yes, I'll just say one line. The books of these two people you must read, and you will get the experience. Over to you, Richa.
So we can't change the world, This is something which I have learned after many years. There are people who we don't get along with. They are, they are rude to us or they hurt our feelings. But what we do? We spend hours getting angry about them, and we are only hurting ourselves. We are filling ourselves with anger and hatred. But what I have come to realize is that you can't change the world. You can't change the other person, You can't change his nature. Even if you are very good to them, their nature will remain the same. So it's better to change ourselves, Let's change our attitude towards them. It's okay if they are bad or if they hurt us. Maybe they are also going through something. It's okay. You maintain a distance from them, but don't harm yourself. Don't fill yourself with anger, or they hurt me, they insulted me. No, you don't accept their insult. They said something, I don't accept it. So I'm happy. Let them also be happy, we will also be happy. It takes time, but yeah. I'm also trying, you can also try.
No, I'm just trying to evaluate this same thing as in the viewpoint of a foreign policy. Suppose if China, if you become so very good, we are using this Gandhian philosophy against China, okay, we are sorry, we are good with you, but China doesn't become good with you. They keep on harming you, they're thinking about harming you again and again. Same thing can happen in our daily life. So what do you do over here? Is meditation the kind of solution for this?
Rajiv, it is like beginning of Mahabharata. Krishna wants Arjuna to fight. In fact, the whole Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita is to teach peace, but Krishna tells Bhagavad Gita only to tell Arjuna that you must fight and kill the enemy. Same is the case we have tried our best in India-China relation. Now we realize that these people are not going to keep quiet, but we are doing Dharma Yuddha, right? We are not following any. As a result, whatever we are doing, we are getting support from all over the corner. That's the way we need to. Similarly, exactly, typically Kauravas are there. Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. We must fight, but with a reason and with a method, and we are convinced that all our approaches same thing. we are convinced that our approaches did not work, then we need to become very aggressive. समजा तुम्ही अजून सॉरी म्हणल्यानंतर सुद्धा ते त्रास दिला की मग कोर्टला जावं लागेल किंवा पोलिसला कंप्लेंट करावं लागेल. व्हॉट एल्स यू कॅन डू. सेम इज द केस विथ दिस. त्यामुळे इट इज सर्कमस्टन्शियल. These are the tools, you can't simply, doctor cannot use a bigger instrument just because he has. Depending on the case, you need to operate. So this is the way we every time tumhi bagitla na, then you need to really understand. Once you do something, receive the feedback. How do you get it? Accordingly, change your strategy. Books won't tell you anything. Different chapters. What India is doing against China. They have not become very aggressive, but they have showed courage. That's the only thing. Even today, they could have fought. Look, once you fight, between Russia and Ukraine, after 1 year, there is nothing. Everybody is losing. So what we do is be prepared to fight and use your weapon judiciously, madam.